So I have here sap green and ultramarine violet and a bit of white. We're going to do the medium tone, medium on the trees. So start highlighting the trees. I am using a fan brush. I'm going to try to use a fan brush to get this willow kind of movement. I think it will work with the fan brush very well. It will work also with a one like that, flat, maybe smaller size, and should be tapered, well tapered. So it's not, it's a good. It should be a good brush. Anyway, here I'm going to take, clean it, and let's see if it works. All right. We can go a little bit lighter with this, so we can use a touch of yellow, cadmium yellow light. Let's take that. Yeah, we can go a little bit lighter. I don't like to use white with green. It looks faded, but let's see now. Yeah, this is kind of the medium tone. The one in the back shouldn't be too highlighted. What I'm gonna do is change the lighting.
So you're using green and ultramarine violet and white?
Green, ultramarine violet, and a touch of cadmium yellow. I used white before, but it's not. Oh, that's much better. Okay.
Are you using yellow medium or yellow dark or yellow light?
Light, yellow light. I dipped my brush in water and I mixed it here with mixed the paint. I'm cleaning up, and I'm gonna come back here. You see what's happening right now is with this is I'm losing a bit the depth. So I have to be careful. I'll go back and adjust the darks. It will dry darker, and I'll wait and see if it's dark enough. Actually, I'm not sure about this brush. Let's try another brush. This is what I do. I try brushes. I try different brushes and see which one works. I'm trying this one. Let's see. Oh, actually, I like that more than the fan brush, because it's not. It's see what the fan brush did. It just, and this is what they use most of the time as well. They use the fan brush to blend. You can blend your colors with fan brush. See, this is really flat right now. But if I If you see that at the bottom, the difference, so I'm going to highlight this a bit so you can see it. It's, I can control more the length of the brush stroke and how it's overlapping. That's good. I have to darken this again. That's okay, because I can go back to, I can work on the other side until it dries. In this area here, there's a lot of things, like a lot of trees and bushes and stuff happening. So, which is fine. The more I go down to the bottom part, the darker it's going to look. So it should be darker at the bottom and lighter on top. That's good. Okay. Wipe my brush. Today with the lavender field, it was the same. It was a lot of kind of layering to get the texture. A lot of layering. So the bottom part would go, and you know, another way of doing, making sure that the color is darker at the bottom is to glaze your color. So if you glaze your color, even if you have a light color, if you put a bit of water in it, and even if it's light, it will dry darker because the color underneath is dark. And because your color is transparent, whatever you're putting on top is transparent, it will just dry darker. So should be okay. That's another way. All right, so like I said here, I need to darken this a bit. So I'm going to go back to using a bit of black with my green, put some darks on again, and move to the right, the tree on the right side. Yeah, it's too light. The fan brush was not the right brush to use. But this is the only way to know, like to find out which brush you should be using is to try. Just try different ones. One doesn't work, try the other one. Sometimes when I used to work on big paintings, I would actually end up with 25 brushes because I know, because I had to clean them up because it was, you know, it was oil. I was working with oil. So I didn't have time to clean them. I would just leave them there and clean them at the end of the session when I'm done. And by the time I'm done, I was like, oh my God, it's like 25 brushes.
A lot of brushes.
Yeah, because it was like, I'll try it, it doesn't work. I'll just leave it, grab another one. Doesn't work, leave it, grab another one. So this was just trying. Okay, I'm just kind of giving a bit of, just a bit of depth in here because I lost that depth too, but that's okay. We can always go back and adjust. All right, let's leave this to dry. You have to come back to it and then softly put the highlight of the tree. Okay, let's leave it and let's go to this one, the white one, because this needs to dry. This one is easier. The texture is easier. So I'm going to take sap green and just add some yellow into my sap green. A touch, just a bit of ultramarine violet in there. Can you see what I'm, no, you can't. Okay, now you can see what I'm mixing, right? So this doesn't have that movement of the willow tree. So we can just, with the corner of my brush, I'm just gonna, oh, geez, that's too strong. This is black. Yeah, that's better. So I'm dabbing, really dabbing with the corner of my brush. I'm trying to see if I can get the lighting to look, so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, do that. Clean my brush a bit. There's too much paint on my brush. And then come to this part here and just kind of change my brush stroke. Down here. Go dabbing again for the tree. Don't need to do a lot in here. To darken a bit. All right. Now let's get to this part, which is more like a lower. Now reflection. And then with the reflection, I'm just going to push my brush stroke down. Just make sure your edge, especially where the water is not too kind of soft edge. This is black. I'm going to clean my brush, just wipe it. I'm going to take black and sap green. And I'm going to come here and just put a separation between the ground and the reflection in the water, because I lost it when I was adding green. So now that's not right. Okay, let's turn it off. That's better. This is kind of what I'm seeing right now. So I'm going to go back to the, actually, I'm going to stop. So now we're going to do the left side and we're going to use the same colors. So what I did is I took, I have sap green, cadmium yellow light, and a bit of ultramarine violet to make my sap green more earthy. And I'm going to, again, wipe my brush and then just come here and try to add the highlights on, highlight the upper part. I'm going to highlight a bit, just a tiny bit, certain areas. Oh, wow, that's more than a bit. Jeez. This is just a reflection of this right here. So if I highlight top, especially when it gets closer to the water, you'll see the reflection, you see the highlight reflected. When objects are reflected in water, most of the time they lose the detail that you see on land. All right. good. So this color is right now, what I'm putting is a bit more like a glaze. So it's not very opaque. And I like that because I don't lose the transparency or the depth, actually, the dark. So when it dries darker. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to take a very small round brush, round, small one, just like that. Highlight my color a bit, the same yellow with green with yellow. And I'm going to come here, and just because I see a beautiful kind of different kind of green in here, I'm going to try to do that just because it looks nice and it's different. It will dry darker, and if it doesn't, and I feel like it's still too light, I can darken it after. But that just gives me a different kind of, it's a bit too light. I'm taking ultramarine violet, adding it to the green, come back here and just kind of darken it a bit. That's too high. Just for you to know why I'm doing this. I don't like this. I'm going to bring it down. Green, sap green, a bit of black. And I'm going to wipe my brush. And negative painting. That's better. Okay. Okay. I don't want to lose the dark behind those leaves in there. I don't want to highlight too much, and then I'll lose the dark, because the dark gives me depth and it looks really nice. So now I'm using a bit of black and green, and yeah, I'm just gonna add a bit of dark in here in the water as well, and that gives me a really nice. This is a bit too long from here to here, right there. So I'm going to take a bit of and here too. Although in the water we can do that because water reflection is sometimes longer than what you see. Okay, so now I have a good shape. And since I'm doing this, I see here some light reflection across. So what I'm going to do is take ultramarine violet, some white, and Can you see what I'm mixing? Yes. Ultramarine violet, some white. And it has a bit of touch of green in there too. And I'm making it more like a glaze. Wipe my brush. All right, I have to. This is when you want to use a, it's good to use a watercolor pencil crayon. My color, my paint, whatever I'm using right now, is not opaque. It's kind of it's like a glaze. All right. One on this side.
It's just white and purple or
Yeah.
ultramarine violet?
Yeah, ultramarine violet, white, and make it more like a glaze. Like don't, it's not too, it's kind of transparent, and a bit of green in there, touch of green, very, very little. It makes a big difference, right? Even the reflection is not one color usually. You'll see kind of a variation in the color, like light and dark. And if you look carefully, you'll see that the reflection that I'm putting here, even in the reference, it's not one color. It has highlighted areas and dark areas, light areas. There. I think that's enough. So what I'm going to do right now is just give a bit of, if possible, a couple of little kind of brush strokes down here. I need to, I'm mixing sap green and a bit of black in here. And what I need to do is just give it, so it doesn't, the reflection doesn't just stop in a harsh kind of strong line in here. I'm just opening up right there.
What are you using to do that?
Just sap green and a bit of black. Yeah, that's good. It's good enough. I'm going to mix orange again and try to open up those trees a bit. This is heavy right now. And just put the orange over the edges of these trees right there. So now I mixed an orange and I put a bit of white in my orange. So I did a cadmium red light with cadmium yellow light, mix them together, put a bit of white, touch of white. And what I'm going to do is go across the edge of those trees right here. Make sure that I have some of the reflection of the sky. And come over here on this side, put some water and open up the reflection because it's really very opaque and heavy. So I'm doing a negative painting right now. And what I should do as well, it will help a lot, is take a bit of white in my orange, touch, and actually try to go across as well, this way with my orange. See that long line here? If you put that orange in there across, it will take care of that kind of long, narrow. And even here, see this? Just cut it up a bit, soften that. Okay, let's clean up this. I don't want to completely cover it, but I just want to clean it up a bit. Okay, there. Okay. This is the same brush I used before. I'm cleaning it up and I'm going to take some of the green I have here, put a bit of water in it. So glaze it, wipe my brush. And I'm going to try to do something here. I'm going to try to continue this, but with green. Just take it across a bit. I can see it in there. And it's lovely. It's like a glaze of green over from the water.
You're going at an angle?
Yeah, it continues with this part here. It just goes across, and it's It just gives the green, the heavy green here, a nice kind of soft. And the same, this is just a glaze. So the same here, I can do a bit, which I did already here, right there. But I can do a bit more. And because it's green, it's not heavy. This is just a bit of ultramarine violet in the same one. And what I'm going to do is just go over this one here. Just a bit of ultramarine violet. Okay, good. I think we're good. We don't need more than that. I'm trying to stop, but it's not working.
Mhm.
So when I am done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to scan it and email you this. So whatever you see, this would be your the right colors, because what you see on the monitor right now is a bit too intense. It's softer here. So I'll when I scan it and send it back, send it to you, you'll see the right colors in there.
What colors are you using, Leon?
That's black and burnt umber. I know he's wearing a hat.
I don't think he needs one.
Yeah, his hat is very, it doesn't suit where he is. It looks like it's strange the way it looks. Another one here. I'm using a round brush. I think I will need another layer. Just cleaning it up with another layer. Okay.
Is the boat darker than him? Or is it all the same?
It looks like it's actually lighter on both sides and then darker here, the boat. But now definitely I need another layer. It's for him, for that, for now, it's not the right, it's too light. This would be good for the reflection. Okay, so now I'm going to do the reflection. Very soft. I like the softness of this color for the reflection. It's perfect, but not for the actual boat. I'm trying to use a more of a glazing technique here for the reflection. I don't want this to be heavy. It's good enough. That needs, it needs another layer. So the paint is lifting right now because I didn't wait. So once this is dry, I'll do another layer, let it dry. And then what I'll do is I'll take a bit of white and just put the kind of a silhouette, like an edge of that boat on one side where there's a highlight. It gives me a good shape for the boat. But if this is darker, then this will look better. So really, this is all we need to do for this, for the boat and the man in it. Clean up this a bit, fix it up. This is wrong. Shape is wrong. This is the orange that I was using. Okay. So I'm just going to do another layer once it's dry because now it's lifting. I can't do anything for the man and the boat.